Hi everyone, how's it going? It's I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a VeVe OMI update video, maybe a little daCat. Guys, if you're new, welcome. For not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon, smashing that super thanks button down below. I was on live a couple hours ago, and I was talking about listings, and I'll get into it. Jump right in. Call me Greg Louganis. This is Shah, SHAAA256 over on X, has 7,700 followers. The last couple of posts that he had, and he's the listings guy at Coinbase. Basically, there's the Coinbase team, and then there's the listing team. And the listing team, from what I understand, is pretty insulated, and they don't really talk too much to Coinbase because they don't want to be accused of financial malfeasance, saying like, oh, you guys are swapping too many things, and this is how leaks happen, and people can front run, and et cetera, et cetera. So again, from what I understand, that team that he has is pretty insulated. And a lot of his stuff, it gets a couple thousand impressions, couple or several dozen comments for each one. It's never too much where it's going to take like hours to go through this. No, it shouldn't take that long to go through the comments at the end of every X amount of hours, the end of every workday. And that's how you gauge certain projects. You have people tell you why they should be listed on Coinbase. And 6 days ago, he asked just that. Said the conversation around new token listings is often dominated by speculation, but what metrics do you use to evaluate a project's long-term potential before it hits a major exchange? And Foster Hilt has this, who's the OMI community manager, has this brilliant write-up. He says that I believe that long-term potential is created when you remove speculation and replace it with an abundance of real-world utility and features that permeate Web 2 and Web 3 user bases and act as a catalyst to bring them together to push the boundaries of what's possible. It's never been easier to acquire crypto tokens, but accessibility does not create demand. It simply enables already interested parties to more easily access the thing that they already want. The question isn't about how to access a token anymore. It's why you would why you would access one over another and keep coming back for more. OMI has answered this question when they partner with VeVe Official to be the official utility token of their ecosystem and enable users to buy and sell official premium licensed 3D digital collectibles from one of the world's biggest brands, including Disney, Marvel, DC, Star Wars, Lamborghini, Blackpink, Coca-Cola, USPS, and hundreds more. Not only does the partnership enable users to collect these iconic brands and IP, it also allows users to be rewarded for collecting and participating in the ecosystem through early access to drops, exclusive giveaways, and leaderboard rewards. There's no single audience that exists that's bigger than the culmination of the majority of the world's biggest fandoms all existing in one place, and there's no need for speculation, as there is only one token that enables these users to collect what they love. It's OMI. Would love to chat more about how we would help continue to bring the world on chain. So this one in particular, which again, 6 days ago, Shah got 7,664 impressions on that. Cool. On the most relevant replies, which is a little bit off here, and again, the reason poet.base.eth, the reason that's one is relevant is because Shah responded to it himself. And poet.base.eth has 100,000 followers on X, and he says the only metric that matters is it based, meaning like, is it on base? And again, he responds to that one, maybe because he has a bunch of followers. Then you have M. Lee Jr., which has 30,000 followers on X, says that check our social tracks good data on attention and mindshare across X and Farcaster, and Shah responded to that. But the one that got the most impressions on this was Foster Hilt's write-up. It had 65 hearts, or likes, had 11 comments, and over 1,000 impressions. No other response got half the impressions that one got, and this isn't the only time this has happened. A few days prior to that, you had base.dgen, which has about 38,000 followers over on X, so decent audience, had said, what are the strongest coins on base over the last 7 days? And OMI was number one because it was up over 90% at that time. I think at one point, on a random day, it was up like 140%. But again, we're cherry picking data here. So Okomi requotes that and says, with the recent integration of DEX token trading on Coinbase for base tokens, the Okomi community has been out full force showing their love and support for OMI, and the numbers speak for themselves. It certainly feels good being based, and he tags Jesse Pollock, which has 250,000 followers on X and kind of bases his entire thing around being based or on base. And he tagged Shah as well, the Coinbase listing guy, and there hasn't been a response. I've seen Okomi and Foster reach out in the replies to Jesse.base.eth saying like, hey, we love that fact that we're on base. We connected with hundreds of brands, and we saw it super early. We were like the 14th project to ever go in and migrate to base like this. And it seems like it would be perfect. Roll the clocks back to any election cycle you want, whether it's 2024, 2020, 2016, and any time at least that I've been alive, I always remember the news reporting, and regardless of which side you're on, it's on Fox, CNN, either side, anywhere in between, anytime that there's a celebrity that comes out for a specific candidate, it gets reported. Why? Because, and I don't really believe it's for celebrity, and works out better if you have like a scientist, someone that's really high-minded, not saying that celebrities can't be, but generally when you have someone that a lot of people like or that has a lot of influence and they're in your camp, you want to really promote that because, hey, this person that everyone loves or this person that everyone really reveres has a great mind really likes this candidate. So again, everyone jumps on board, they make a big deal out of it. And it seems that Jesse.base or even Shah from Coinbase would want to support the heck out of VeVe and Okomi because it's not just a random meme token. It's a token that's backed by this business that does millions per year, does hundreds of, sometimes there was a time where it did millions like per drop. It should come back as the NFT bull market comes. But it has these revenues. It doesn't have like one brand, like let's say like DeLorean, like DMC, right? Which is also on VeVe. But DeLorean that has a DMC token that's on Sui backs the heck up out of that. They're just like, yeah, they promote the heck out of it. Why? It's because it's not just a random meme token. And again, they're all about meme tokens. I think toilet dust, whatever that one is, they like that because, hey, it's backed by this doctor, it's backed by this person, and they have like a fun thing going on. They have NFTs, they have a way that they can create revenue. So they're fine with that. But the one thing that's on Sui, which again, DeLorean, they back their own and they say, hey, we have this IP that everyone loves. It has some revenues. We're disrupting this car industry. Yeah, I think that's great. They sponsor the channel. I have some. And it would seem that if I'm someone that built their brand around building on base, like Jesse.base.eth, or the person in charge of listing base tokens on Coinbase, I'd be like, yeah, this is probably a good idea because, base is a new chain, relatively new in comparison to ETH and Bitcoin, Solana, etc. And we would love to not just have one, but hundreds of major brands that make up billions of fans around the world that everyone loves. And we would love to be associated with that. But they're not. And I was trying to figure out, okay, what's the calculus behind not doing that? And then I think I found it. Remember that one scene in The Big Short where they had these CDO swaps that they had shorted and the banks wouldn't give them a fair rate up until they had secured short positions themselves? I could just play it for you.
Yeah, I think you mean that you've secured a net short position yourselves, so you're free to mark my swaps accurately for once because it's now in your interest to do so.
I feel like there's some parallels, and I'm going to draw at least one. Again, going back to the question, why would some of these people that are on base and again make their personalities, their brands around what's being good for base, why would they not embrace VeVe and Okomi? Well, one theory is that, okay, maybe they're paid not to. It doesn't really make much sense because they'd probably be, whatever someone could pay me to not talk about VeVe and Okomi, I would make infinitely more by denying them and going in actually using my wealth and using my network and resources to invest in that company. And again, none of this is financial advice. So I don't think that's the thing. what I think, and again, because I know VeVe better than most people in the world, including some of the people that actually work for the company. And if there was anything, some people might say, okay, well, maybe they know something about VeVe, maybe like a dark, dirty little secret, and there's no new lawsuits. The old lawsuit is over. There is nothing that I can see from my view over here that would prevent anyone from going in. There just isn't. And I would know before anyone else. I mean, before these guys that I know they're building on base and other big names in base, I would know if there was anything wrong with the company that would make me either sell or be like, okay, this is probably it. I wouldn't make this video. So the only other option that I have, the only other line I could see that would make sense is similar to that Big Short scene I just showed you, where it's like, okay, yes, this is going to be very good for us. We'd love to promote it. We just need to secure our bags first. And it wasn't too long after Foster Hilt had made these comments when he started to, I don't say go after, when he started to be a reply guy to Jesse.base.eth and SHA256. It was a couple weeks ago. And once he started doing it from both his account and the OMI account, which again, it's very clear that those are the biggest responses and the biggest replies on anything that they do, you got this. You got a wicked, wicked spike, not only in price, but just in volume. Like the volume on some of these days was like 50 million, and a lot of times we had several 100,000 in volume. But on the 26th, you had 45 million. And I'm pretty sure on a couple of days, it was higher than that. There's a couple of days here at the 40 million. 25th, it was 25th was like 20. But on that day, you had 40 or $50 million in volume. And I'm trying to think, okay, that's around the time, I think like a few hours after Foster and everyone had started replying to them. So I think they just want their bags first. And again, this is just a theory. I don't know any of those people. I don't know any of those guys, but in my opinion, that's probably what they're doing. Again, you have the people over at Sui that are backing DeLorean's DMC, and that's one IP, and it's great. And again, I have some. Again, they sponsor the channel. They gave me some tokens. I haven't sold, unlike a lot of their other KOLs. But the thing here is that when you have hundreds of brands, of course everyone's going to want to promote it. Of course but I think they just want to get their bag first, which again, do what you got to do. We got to go get that bread. It makes sense. I might do something similar if I were in the same situation that they were in. And they sign on more brands all the time. One of the other ones that's going to appear on their comic website later this year is going to be daCat. And I got another call recently about daCat. This is my fourth call for asking me to sell part of it or sell all of it. The first two I declined. The third one, we struck a deal. The most recent call I got, it was from a recognizable comic brand that had said, hey, we've heard what you're doing. And we've seen a couple pages. I don't know how the heck they saw a couple pages, but they're like, we've seen it. I was like, okay. And said, we would like to represent you on VeVe. And I was like, well, I mean, right now, like, we're going to be independent. And they're just like, well, we'd like to represent you under our umbrella, under our brand. We could market for you. We could do X, Y, and Z. And I was like, that's really nice. But, you know, obviously you wouldn't do that for free. And we want to go in and we want to kind of keep everything under the daCat brand for now. At some point we'll go in and and again, the 5% that we had sold or we had raised is to an institution, which is fantastic. I don't think we would sell any other piece of daCat under $500,000. And this is all pre-revenue, by the way. Like this is all like, this isn't even out yet. They might have seen like a couple pages, but the sales numbers haven't come in yet. This will sell out. We will go in and we will use the momentum of the sellouts for this entire universe to go in and say, we're going to make an anime, we're going to do X, Y, and Z, and then we won't sell any piece of it for less than $1 million valuation. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. And this is why OMI and daCat are some of my biggest bags. And everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. I love you guys. Class dismissed. Meow, meow, meow.